The leather chair creaked softly as I leaned back in my corner office, 50 stories above Manhattan, staring at the resume on my desk. Michael Thompson, my dear brother who'd spent the last decade telling everyone how his little sister would never amount to anything. Now his future was quite literally in my hands. My executive assistant's voice came through the intercom. "Ms. Chen, your 2 p.m. interview has arrived." I smiled, remembering Michael's last words to me at our parents' house 3 years ago. "Have fun playing businesswoman while I build a real career." That real career had just imploded spectacularly when his company went bankrupt. Now he was desperately seeking employment, unaware that most major firms in the city were subsidiaries of Chen Global Enterprises, my company. "Send him up," I replied. "And Sarah? Make sure he waits at least 20 minutes. "Of course, Ms. Chen. Shall I offer him coffee?" "From the regular pot." I smirked. The regular pot was reserved for unwanted visitors, our little office joke. Executives and valued clients got the premium blend. "Perfect," I said. "And pull up the security footage from the lobby. I want to see his face when he realizes where he is." While waiting, I reviewed his application again. The irony was delicious. He'd applied for a senior VP position, touting his experience and leadership skills. The same leadership skills that had driven his previous company into the ground. My phone buzzed, a message from our HR director. "Background check complete on Michael Thompson. Multiple red flags. Proceed with interview." "Absolutely," I typed back. "This one's personal." The last time I'd seen Michael was at our parents' anniversary dinner. He'd been holding court, bragging about his executive position while pointedly asking me if I was still doing that startup thing. That startup thing had grown into a multi-billion-dollar corporation, though I'd kept my ownership private through holding companies and subsidiaries. As far as my family knew, I was still struggling to make it in the business world. The security feed from the lobby popped up on my monitor. There was Michael in his expensive suit, probably his last one, trying to project confidence as he checked in. I watched his expression change as he saw the Chen Global logo behind the reception desk. "Your sister's company?" he asked the receptionist, clearly shocked. "Miss Chen is the CEO," she replied coolly. "Please take a seat. Someone will escort you up shortly." The color drained from his face as he connected the dots. After years of dismissing my business acumen, he was about to interview with me. My phone buzzed again. "Dad, this time. Michael said he has an interview at Chen Global. Is this true?" I ignored it. "Let them stew for a while." Sarah's voice came through again. "He's quite agitated in the waiting area. Keeps checking his phone and loosening his tie." "Let him sweat," I replied. "Has he figured it out yet?" "Not entirely. He keeps asking if Alexandra Chen is related to his sister Sarah. No one's answering him." Alexandra was my professional name, the one I'd built my empire under while my family continued to underestimate little Sarah. Another message popped up, this time from Mom. "Honey, please help your brother. He really needs this job." Oh, now they wanted my help. Where was this support when I was building my company? When Michael was telling everyone I'd never succeed? The security feed showed Michael checking his reflection in the lobby windows, practicing what looked like an interview smile. If he only knew what was waiting 50 stories up. "Miss Chen." Sarah's voice again. "It's been 20 minutes. Shall I send him up?" I straightened my Chanel blazer and picked up his resume. Yes. Time to show my dear brother what success really looks like. The door to my office opened and Sarah led Michael in. His confident stride faltered as he took in the vast corner office, the floor-to-ceiling windows offering a panoramic view of Manhattan, most of which I owned. "Mr. Thompson," Sarah announced formally, "Miss Chen will see you now." Michael's eyes widened as he recognized me, his rehearsed interview smile crumbling. "Sarah? What are you doing here?" "That's Miss Chen," I corrected him, not offering my hand. "Please take a seat. We have a lot to discuss about your application." He sank into the chair across from my desk, his expensive suit suddenly looking cheap under the harsh reality of the situation. "This is impossible," he muttered. "You can't be CEO of Chen Global Enterprises?" I finished for him. "Owner of the largest private holding company in the city? The mysterious Alexandra Chen that everyone's been trying to meet." I smiled. Amazing what one can accomplish while playing businesswoman. My phone buzzed, another message from Dad. Michael just texted us. Please be reasonable. I set the phone aside. This meeting had been 10 years in the making. Let's review your application, shall we? I picked up his resume. Senior VP position. Impressive credentials. Though I notice your last company isn't listed. Why is that? Michael shifted uncomfortably. There were complications. Complications. I raised an eyebrow. Is that what we're calling bankruptcy due to mismanagement now? How diplomatic. You've been researching me, he accused. Of course. We do thorough background checks on all applicants. I pulled out another file. Especially ones with such interesting financial histories. His face paled as I opened the file. Those records are sealed. Nothing is sealed from me, I corrected. Not the 3 failed ventures before your last disaster. Not the investors you misled. Not even the rather creative accounting that caught the SEC's attention. That was never proven. Because the investigators were bought off, I finished. By one of my shell companies, actually. I couldn't have my dear brother's scandal reflecting badly on Chen Global. Though I did enjoy watching you brag about beating the charges at Christmas dinner last year. My phone lit up with another text, Mom, this time. He has a family to support. Speaking of family, I continued, remember Dad's retirement party? When you told everyone I was wasting my potential on a startup. Michael squirmed. Sarah, about what I said. Miss Chen, I corrected again. And yes, let's talk about what you said. All the things you said, actually. I pressed a button on my desk and a screen descended from the ceiling. I keep excellent records. Video clips began playing. Every dismissive comment, every mockery of my career, every prediction of my failure. I'd had them all recorded at various family events. Quite the greatest hits compilation, wouldn't you say? I asked as he watched himself sneer at my ambitions year after year. That's not fair, he protested weakly. Not fair. I laughed. Was it fair when you told potential investors to avoid my company? When you spread rumors about my business acumen? When you convinced Mom and Dad not to invest in my little project? My phone buzzed again, the HR director. Other companies requesting references for Michael Thompson. How should we respond? Standard protocol, I typed back. Full disclosure of bankruptcy and SEC investigation. Looking up at Michael's increasingly desperate face, I continued. You know what's interesting? Every major company you've applied to in the last month is either owned by or connected to Chen Global. Every potential job opportunity, every networking contact, every possible lifeline, all lead back to this office. The blood drained from his face as he realized the full extent of his situation. You've been blocking me? Not actively, I assured him. Just letting your record speak for itself. Though I must say, watching you gradually realize how much power your unsuccessful sister has over your future has been entertaining. Sarah appeared at the door. Miss Chen, the board is ready for your quarterly presentation. Thank you, Sarah. Mr. Thompson was just leaving. I stood up. Unless there's anything else you'd like to discuss? More predictions about my success, perhaps. Michael stood shakily. Sarah. Alexandra, please. I need this job. Like I needed your support when I was building this company? I asked quietly. Like I needed a brother who believed in me instead of constantly tearing me down? My phone lit up with meeting reminders. 3 p.m. Board presentation, Global Acquisition Strategy. 4 p.m. Investment Committee New Ventures Review. 5 p.m. Executive Committee Personnel Decisions. You know what the funny thing is? I continued. If you had shown even a fraction of support, you might be sitting on this side of the desk now. I wanted to share my success with family. But you made it very clear what you thought about my potential. I was wrong, he said quickly. I see that now. Now. I raised an eyebrow. Now that you need something from me? Now that your real career has imploded and your unsuccessful sister turns out to own half of Manhattan. My phone buzzed with another update. Our PR department. Stories about Thompson Corp bankruptcy gaining traction. Want us to issue a statement. Proceed, I typed back. Focus on the mismanagement angle. Please, Michael tried again. I'll do anything. Entry-level position, mailroom, anything. Anything. I smiled. Like I did? Working my way up while you mocked my efforts? Starting at the bottom while you dismissed my dreams. I pressed another button on my desk and his resume shredded itself in the automatic shredder. Unfortunately, Mr. Thompson, Chen Global maintains very high standards for its employees. We require qualities like integrity, judgment, and most importantly, I paused, the ability to recognize potential in others. Standing up, I gathered my papers for the board meeting. Sarah will show you out. Through the service entrance, of course. We reserve the main lobby for successful executives. As he stumbled toward the door, I called after him, "Oh, and Michael? To give my best to Mom and Dad. Tell them their unsuccessful daughter sends her regrets about missing Sunday dinner. I'll be too busy running my global corporation to attend." The door closed behind him and I watched on the security feed as he was escorted to the service elevator, his shoulders slumped in defeat. My phone buzzed one final time. "Dad again. Please reconsider. He's your brother." "Funny," I typed back. He didn't consider that when he was predicting my failure. Success, like karma, works in mysterious ways. Sarah appeared with my board presentation. "Your brother looks rather shell-shocked." "Amazing what a change in perspective can do," I replied. "Have security revoke his access credentials. If he applies again, mark his file, do not consider." "Already done," she confirmed. "And the other companies he's applied to? Let them know exactly who they're dealing with," I instructed. After all, isn't that what big sisters are for? Looking out for their brother's best interests. As I prepared for my board meeting, I couldn't help but smile. Sometimes the best revenge isn't just proving someone wrong, it's becoming the gatekeeper to everything they desperately need. Welcome to my world, brother. Success looks different from this side of the desk. Too bad you'll never see it from here. After all, as you always said, some people just aren't cut out for success. Turns out you were right about that. Just wrong about which one of us it was.